provision. God, we stand here among your people, unable in our own strength to discharge that which you've given us. So God, we're asking that you anoint us afresh. Anoint these lips of clay, God. Give us clarity of thought and of speech.
Yes.
Guard our heart lest we say anything not applicable to your word. And now, God, touch the ears of the hearers. As we walk and have seen sometimes the things that we wrestle with, seeing our limitations. And so sometimes folk have the wrong perception because they're looking at you through the natural eye. They're looking at you through the human perception. But how do you realize that God is not like man? He does not look on you after the outward appearance. I don't want to screw right now. But he's looking at the inward man. Got to realize who God has ordained you to be. One of the things I heard and I love is that all you are is some purpose wrapped up in flesh. Got to realize, he told the prophet Jeremiah, before you were in your, I already knew you. So before you even began to be formed as an embryo, started to become flesh, God had already put you in his mind. Therefore, you had a purpose. And when God has declared a divine purpose on your life, you have to realize that there's something about you, amen, that folk may overlook. The enemy may discount. The devil is thinking that he's had you buffeted and set aside for a long time and you ain't going nowhere. But I'm here to speak into your life tonight that what God has declared over you, you are qualified for the understand that the enemy in ancient culture always practiced a practice called occupation. See what happens in warfare. It's not just enough to come in and try to cut you down, but I'm going to try to sit in your territory because the longer I occupy, the more the people become discouraged, the more they become oppressed, the more they become let down. So he tries to occupy. But what you got to do is recognize that that belongs to me. My family, God said, that my son would be saved. My nephew would become to the Lord. My finances, God promised me. So what you got to do is get your eviction notice and say, devil, it's time for you to go. I'm walking into my promise. And whatever your there is, whatever God has declared over your life, I dare you to get a violent attitude. What are you talking about, preacher? I'm not talking about fighting like they used to fight. There's Overseer Harris know that we came from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, and there was a time, I don't know how y'all doing down here. I know y'all are wonderful, polite people in Delaware, but when I grew up, every once in a while, you had to prepare to get some Vaseline. Come on, man, and rub it on your face. You had to prepare yourself to take your rings off. After school, you had to prepare yourself to fight. And so, you got to get up in your mind that I'm going to take a violent attitude toward my promise. God has spoken something too great in your life. As a matter of fact, the Bible said that it's not even written anywhere. You cannot really quantify it. He declares that I have not seen, neither have ye heard, neither has it entered into the heart of man the things that God has in store. I like that word, in store. You know what that means? It's already in inventory. It's already there. I'm on the train. Got off the train. I had a message in my cell phone from my office saying, Mr. Butler, we want you. You don't know it. I know the God that I serve is the God that gives favor. And when you understand you got favor on your life, God will begin to move in your life. God will begin to open up the doors. As a matter of fact, there's some blessings that are chasing you down right now. All you gotta do is wait on God. And God's about to move real soon. I'm here to let you know that folks are looking at you. They're looking at who your family is. That you don't have the right last name. Your name may not be Kennedy or Rockefeller. Your name may not even be Obama. But how many of you know that I'm in the family? And the God that I serve, that is my Father. He is rich in houses and lands. The whole earth belongs to him. It doesn't matter what you have or don't have. You got to realize that the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. Of the world and they that dwell told you that you're too short, or you're too heavy, you're too tall or too skinny, they're going to criticize you no matter what. But you got to recognize that when you belong to God, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. So whatever God has made you to be, just walk in your purpose. Walk in God's divine order. Though no witnesses have been presented, though no evidence has been declared, I'm telling you now what I expect.